We do have some breaking news just into our newsroom. The South Portland Police Department says it is investigating an active situation at the Maine Mall.
What we know right now is that the Maine Mall is closed at this time. People are being asked to simply avoid that area. We have a crew headed to that scene right now, working out to find more for you.
We continue following breaking news out of South Portland at the Maine Mall. It's the story that everyone seems to be talking about right now.
South Portland police confirming they are searching right now in the Maine Mall for an individual suspected of shooting another person inside that facility. Our Donovan Lynch is live on the scene with what is happening right now. Donovan.
Hey, Brian and Amanda, I'm here with Eternity and Savannah, and you two said that you were walking out of the food court when shots fired. Can you describe kind of what you saw?
We were walking out from a store and we heard one big boom, and then the second one was more echoed, and then that's when people started running out and screaming.
They were screaming run, they were screaming help, everybody was running out. We saw people running out with babies, with baby strollers. Yeah. It was like a quiet gunshot, and then there was like a really big gunshot and echoed across the parking lot, and then everybody was running out, people from the kitchens, people from everywhere.
And what was going through your heads when you were hearing this and seeing?
I was worried about my mom. My mom was inside the mall, on the other side of the mall, and at first she thought I was joking. She was like, "No, there's nothing going on." And then I was like, "You need to get out. You need to get out of the mall." And she was like, I was scared she wasn't gonna make it out because she is sick, and she was on the other side of the mall, and she stopped being able to breathe very well. And then she kind of stopped answering me. I didn't think she was going to come out.
And then when did you get into contact with her?
I called her. Ulta told us we could come in and sit in there because their doors were locked. And I called her and I was like, we're in Ulta. And then that was the last time I talked to her. And then like 5-10 minutes went by and I finally saw her outside of Ulta, but I started crying. I got really scared.
Goodness, I'm so sorry that you guys had to go through this. Are you feeling
scared, nervous?
I think the biggest part is like we live all the way. We live about an hour and a half from here, and so we don't come here very often. And like the one time we come here, this happens.
And are you two in school?
Yes, we are. We go to Waterville Senior High School. We're both sophomores.
Yeah.
Well, Eternity and Savannah, thank you so much for speaking with me. I'm so sorry that you had to experience this.
Thank you.
And Brian and Amanda, we'll just tell you the information that we know so far, which is that the South Portland police are currently searching the Maine Mall for an individual suspected of shooting another individual this afternoon. And I'm reading from a release from a spokesperson. It says the preliminary investigation suggests that this is an isolated incident. Police do not believe the public is at risk, but they do ask members of the public to avoid the area while they conduct the search. And South Portland Fire and Rescue did transport one individual to Maine Medical Center. Their condition is unknown at this time. And you can see behind me just a line of police cars, and we've seen officers with what look to be semi-automatic weapons or serious weapons and protective gear go into this food court area here at the Maine Mall. As we said before, the police say that this incident did happen this afternoon, and one person injured as a result. They were taken to Maine Medical Center, the condition unknown. This is a fluid situation. We're seeing police cars kind of roll up here at the Maine Mall, and we'll be sure to keep you updated as we learn more about what happened here at the Maine Mall this afternoon. Brian and Amanda?
Our Donovan Lynch live in South Portland. Thank you, Donovan. And just to reiterate some of what Donovan was telling us, police believe this was an isolated incident, that it was one person who shot one person. And right now, South Portland police are in the mall searching for that suspected shooter, but we will continue to follow this.
Yeah, and again, I just want to reiterate, police do not believe there is a threat to the greater public. They think this was what they are calling an isolated incident, but we did see obviously that large presence outside and officers, members of law enforcement in tactical gear. So an unsettling scene at a place that a lot of us visit regularly. We continue tracking that breaking news for you out of South Portland this evening, where the Maine Mall has been evacuated.
We want to check back in with Donovan Lynch, who is on scene there. Donovan, at this point, what are you learning?
Yeah, hey, Brian and Amanda. A couple developments since we last came to you that we've noticed. Number one is just about 5 minutes ago, we saw some people exit the Maine Mall food court right there behind me. As we said before, the South Portland police searching for a suspect who's alleged to have injured another person who was transported to Maine Medical Center. Another development we want to let you know, we've started to see the presence of federal law enforcement on scene. Just to my left, there's actually someone affiliated with the FBI, and then just down the way, the ATF. So there's, I can't even stress how heavy the police presence is here right now. And as we spoke earlier with those two high schoolers who heard that bang and heard the shot, and you know, their mother was inside, or one of their mothers was inside, and just that pain of not knowing. But right now we know that the South Portland police say do not believe that the public is at risk, but again, asking members of the public to avoid the area. And we're just going to move to the right as a member of law enforcement just backs out their car. But still a situation we're learning a lot more about. But again, just about 5-6 minutes ago, we did see people leave right behind there. I'd say 7-8 people leave right behind there at the entrance to the food court. We'll be sure to come back as we learn more about what happened this afternoon. Brian and Amanda.
Donovan Lynch live for us at the Maine Mall in South Portland with that breaking news this evening. We also want to bring up a post from Governor Janet Mills on social media in reaction to what's going on. She says the following. She says, I've been briefed on the situation at the Maine Mall in South Portland. I thank state and local law enforcement for their swift response. I advise Maine people follow the instructions of law enforcement and to avoid that area until otherwise instructed. And that is the message right now, to avoid the area.
Right. And again, we want to reiterate what South Portland police are telling people, that they believe it was one suspected shooter who shot one person. That person has been taken to Maine Medical Center. Their injuries are not known at this point, but they do believe this is an isolated incident, despite asking everyone to leave the mall. And again, they are asking people to avoid that area.
We'll start News Center Maine at 5 for you right now. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Brian Yacono.
And I'm Amanda Hill. We do want to begin tonight with some breaking news out of South Portland. The Maine Mall is closed and police are asking people to avoid that area right now. We know that South Portland police are searching for a person they believe is inside and suspected of shooting another person this afternoon. Our Donovan Lynch is at the Maine Mall right now. He joins us with the latest. Donovan.
Yeah, hey, we're at the outside the food court here at the Maine Mall, and we're seeing law enforcement from several agencies, a county, local, and we also saw an FBI and ATF presence. I just spoke with a man who hosts an exchange student. The exchange student, he said, is locked in a clothing store, was changing in a changing room, and then had to be in lockdown in the clothing store. And we also, about 20 minutes ago, or maybe more like 15 minutes ago, we saw a few people leave the food court going that way. There's a lot of movement right now from law enforcement. Some of them have long guns and are wearing protective gear as this situation develops. And the parking lot is quite full. I talked to another man whose daughter was stuck in another store just outside here, and you know, the situation is unfolding as we speak right now. We know that the governor has been briefed on what is going on here, and we know that one person was sent to Maine Medical Center with injuries. We do not know their condition right at this point. We'll be sure to keep you updated. And the very last thing. Right when we arrived, we actually spoke to two high schoolers who actually heard the shots ring out as they left, and they were worried for several minutes that their mother was inside. Fortunately, they were able to make contact with her, but it just goes to show that it's a very fluid situation right now. But again, authorities say please avoid this area right now as this search continues. Amanda?
All right, Donovan Lynch live for us in South Portland at the Maine Mall. Thank you, Donovan.
We want to get back to that breaking news we've been tracking for you out of South Portland this evening. Right now, the Maine Mall is closed and police are asking people to avoid the area.
What we do know is that South Portland police are still searching for a person they believe is inside the mall and suspected of shooting one other person this afternoon. Our Sam Olson is at the Maine Mall right now. She joins us live with more details. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Brian and Amanda. I just got on scene just about 10 minutes ago, and there are about 20 or so police officers just in this area. You can see the food court is just behind me and Ulta is off to my right. So right here, there are about 20, and we've seen SWAT teams go in with rifles. We've seen officers come out of the mall, and there's not a big it doesn't feel like it's they're moving urgently here. They're just kind of walking in and out and talking with one another. But we've seen also someone from the ATF is here, and someone the South Portland Fire Department. As we were coming on scene, they were leaving. So just a lot of law enforcement here right now, and as you can see, some people are coming out of the mall right now, but we don't have any other details confirmed yet that we can bring to you. But just as of right now, there are about 20 or so cops just right here, and they are continuing searching the mall. Brian and Amanda.
All right, Sam Olson live for us at the Maine Mall tonight with that breaking news. Sam, thank you.
Want to remind you too that again, this is an isolated incident. Police are asking you to avoid the mall, but again, one person was shot. That person was taken to Maine Medical Center. That's the latest that we know. We will continue our coverage when we come back. Welcome back. We are continuing to follow breaking news out of South Portland, where the Maine Mall has been closed and there is a heavy police presence there. People being asked to avoid that area.
Yeah, so this has been going on for a little over an hour at this point. We have team coverage for you of what we are learning and where the questions remain. We want to go right now live to our Donovan Lynch outside the food court there, talking with people on the scene this afternoon. Donovan.
Hey, Brian and Amanda. Well, the most recent development is over the past couple minutes, we've seen more people come out of that food court area, staff of some of the stores in there, as well as shoppers. And the mood, as you can imagine, is incredibly distraught. People at a loss for words. There are tears. Also right behind, or in front of me rather, at the Ulta Beauty, which isn't connected to the food court, that was locked down, and just a couple moments ago we saw officers unlock that and the patrons come out, and then officers kind of moving in and out there. But again, the mood is one of despair from the people exiting this food court area, and we know one person injured, taken to Maine Medical Center. We don't know their condition at this time. The governor has been briefed on what is going on right now, and just to reiterate, the amount of police and the number of different agencies. We've seen FBI, we've seen ATF, we've seen Cumberland County Sheriff's Office, South Portland Police, and you can see you know, these officers with long guns moving behind me. It's a situation where, you know, many people are at a loss for words, and you know, we talked to parents who were waiting because their kids were locked in the store in the lockdown. I talked to one gentleman whose daughter was in Ulta Beauty, another gentleman who is hosting an exchange student who was locked in one of the stores after being in a dressing room. So this situation impacting a lot of people as we see this parking lot full of people standing around, looking, watching, and waiting. Brian and Amanda.
All right, our Donovan Lynch live outside the food court, a familiar location for really anybody in Maine right now. That's in South Portland on that breaking news scene.
Certainly a scary situation when you hear gunfire at the Maine Mall, but we want to reiterate that South Portland police right now are still telling us that they believe this was an isolated incident. There was one shooter. At this point, all we know is that they are still looking for a suspected shooter in the mall. But again, this was an isolated incident and that one person was shot. That person, as Donovan mentioned, has been taken to Maine Medical Center. We will continue to follow this. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Amanda Hill.
And I'm Brian Nicono. We start tonight at 5:30 with that breaking news we've been following out of South Portland this afternoon. Police say they have been searching now for someone they believe shot another person inside the Maine Mall.
Right now, police do not believe the public is at risk, but there are still people inside the mall. They're asking everyone to avoid that area. Our Sam Olsen has been there for the last hour and joins us with the latest. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Brian and Amanda. Yeah, right now I am at the Maine Mall. Behind me is the food courts, and just for perspective, JCPenney is to my left and Ulta is to my right. And we've been here for a while now, and we've seen a constant stream of new officers arriving on scene. Just in this area alone, there are about 20 or so cop cars. And actually, just a couple minutes ago, we saw a large group of people walk out of the mall together. We've seen police officers with long rifles walking into and out of the mall, but they're not moving with a huge sense of urgency, but they are constantly going in and out, and there's groups off to my right that are talking with one another. So, and I don't know if you could just see behind me, there are people exiting the mall right now. So what we do know is officials took one person to Maine Medical Center, and we don't know their condition at this time. And we don't have much more confirmed information than that. But as you can see, there are people walking out, and there's a lot of police presence here. And yeah, we will be on scene for, the rest of this evening, and we will continue to bring you updates from the mall as we get more information. Brian and Amanda.
All right, our Sam Olsen live outside the food court there at the Maine Mall, obviously pointing out, as we saw in the live pictures with Sam, people currently coming out of the mall while it has been essentially locked down for the last 2 hours or so.
We've heard about a lot of parents being concerned about their kids being at the mall. Certainly a lot of concerns surrounding this. Our Donovan Lynch is also there and joins us with more on his side. Hi, Donovan.
Hey, Brian and Amanda. Yeah, we had a chance to speak to some people who were leaving the mall, and understandably, they were incredibly distraught to the point that they were holding back tears. Many of them were crying. We also spoke with some people who had, either relatives or, in one case, an exchange student that they were hosting who was in a stall at the H&M store on lockdown. And those who we've spoken to have been very upset by the events. There's a lot of emotion. And I did speak with two teenagers, in fact, who heard the shots ring out in an interview earlier today. Take a listen.
And we heard one big boom, and then the second one was more echoed, and then that's when people started running out and screaming.
They were screaming run, they were screaming help, everybody was running out. We saw people running out with babies, with baby strollers. Yeah. It was like a quiet gunshot, and then there was like a really big gunshot and echoed across the parking lot, and then everybody was running out, people from the kitchens, people from everywhere.
And just a couple moments ago, I actually did speak with a man who was waiting for his daughter, who was inside the Ulta Beauty, which is right behind the camera. That was locked down. That isn't connected to the food court complex. He was kind of pacing, saying, I'm just waiting for, my daughter to come out. And when she came out and others came out, a big hug and obviously some relief from these family members who are waiting this parking lot. There's several cars in the parking lot. The family members waiting for their loved ones to come out as this situation unfolds. We'll be here talking to folks and getting those stories throughout the evening. Brian and Amanda.
And Donovan Lynch, thank you.
We heard one big boom, and then the second one was more echoed.
A shooting at the Maine Mall in the middle of the afternoon leads to chaos.
They were screaming help, everybody was running out. We saw people running out with babies, with baby strollers.
As the state's biggest and busiest shopping center is evacuated, shaken shoppers try to find their way to safety.
Every second you can die. So in my mind was that, like, what should I do if, like, the guy came in?
Then the manhunt as state and local police try to find the shooter before anyone else is hurt. We're live with the latest on this breaking story. News Center Maine at 11 starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Brian Yacono. We have some stormy weather to talk about right here tonight. But first, though, we want to get right to that breaking news we've been keeping you updated on since this afternoon. What began for so many as a typical afternoon at the mall suddenly turned into a very scary situation as gunfire was heard and word spread that someone had been shot and the shooter was nowhere to be found. News Center Maine's Sam Olson joining us live from South Portland tonight. Sam.
Hi, Brian. Yes, it was a scary situation here at the Maine Mall. Dozens of local officers and federal agents were here searching for the suspected shooter. The situation unfolded at about 4 o'clock this afternoon, and police still have not found the suspect. We spoke with some of the shoppers who were inside the mall at the time, and they explained to us how the chaos unfolded.
It kind of sounded like loud bangs, really.
It was a sound Alexandra Rios says she'd never heard before while working at the mall.
I didn't really think it was gunshots, but then when everyone was just running and just leaving everything, I was like, okay, we kind of have to, leave.
She says she hid in the bathroom with her mother before going to another store to take shelter. Meanwhile, for Niklas Silasherman, 1 second he was in the changing room trying on clothes, and then the next, he and his friend were the only 2 people left in the entire store.
So in my mind was that like, what should I do if like the guy came in?
It's something he's never had to think about before. He's an exchange student from Germany who says shootings like this aren't so common there.
You hear the stories from America, from shootings, school shootings, but like only hearing in TV or from stories, and now I'm in. That's crazy.
He, along with so many others, say it was just a typical afternoon, but fear broke out in the blink of an eye.
They were screaming run, they were screaming help, everybody was running out. We saw people running out with baby strollers.
One person police believe got out too was the shooter himself. South Portland police released these photos of the suspect leaving the mall through the exit in the food court. And police cleared the scene about 8 o'clock tonight, and as you can tell, it's pretty empty and quiet as of right now. Police say the person who was shot was taken to Maine Medical Center and is expected to survive. And for now, that's about all the information that we have. When we learn more on this developing story, we will keep you updated on air and online. Back to you, Brian.
Sam Olson live in South Portland, tracking the story for us tonight. Sam, thank you.